Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Soul Seekers podcast, where we believe that hunting has the power to transform lives through primal adventure as we share our mission of mentorship is conservation. To learn more about everything we do, check out our show on Carbon TV or go to soulseekersnation.com. Freedom on, everybody, and stay soulful. Do you love America? Do you love supporting American manufacturing? If the answer is yes, then check out Coltac gear for made in America products with a lifetime warranty. Coltac manufactures specialty gear designed for long-range shooting, hunting, and other tactical applications. From their support bags, suppressor covers, their new bino harness, and a whole lot more, Coltac is creating tough, durable, and innovative gear for serious shooters. Go to Coltac.com to see all that they have to offer and use the code SOULSEEKERS10 to save 10% at checkout. If you are wanting to become more accurate and deadly with your shooting, one of the best things you can do is upgrade your trigger with a Timney. Timney triggers are 100% made in America and have been since their founding, providing a crisp, reliable, and repeatable trigger break every time. I'll be shooting Timney triggers in my guns this year, and I hope you'll join me in shooting the world's finest trigger. Go to timneytriggers.com to get yours today. If you're looking to take your hunting to another level, there's no better way to do it than by subscribing to onX Hunt. If you want to get better at hunting and go deeper into your scouting, onX is the #1 GPS app for that. Join the millions of hunters who trust onX Hunt to find more game, discover new access, and hunt smarter. If you want to know more about onX, go to onxmaps.com/hunt or download their app today for a free trial. As a school teacher of 20 years, safety has always been a top priority. So when it comes to shooting and hunting, it's no different for me, which is why I always prefer to shoot suppressed. Huxwrx Safety Company is a human exposure workshop dedicated to building products that are optimized for the safety and health of their customers without compromising efficiency or performance. If you're not shooting suppressed, what are you waiting for? Go to Huxwrx.com to start protecting your health and future today. That's HUXWRX.com. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Soul Seekers podcast. I'm your host, Johnny Mack, and I am recording live once again at the Huxwrx Safety Company booth, live at the Western Hunting and Conservation Expo in Salt Lake City, and I'm joined by an absolute stud of a man and an absolute killer of a human being, and that is Mr. Brian Barney. If you are not familiar with Brian, it's time to get familiar with him because his mindset and how he operates really leads the way, and he's been an inspiration for me on my hunting journey and following him and everything that he does. So we're out. It's finally, after multiple years of trying to get you on the show, Brian, or like just aligning schedules, we're finally sitting down next to each other. So thanks for being on the show, bro.
Yeah, man. My pleasure. This has been a long time coming. Yeah, we've known each other for quite a while, and we always say we've got to jump on a podcast, and it's always so chaotic here at these shows trying to get a time dialed in. But yeah, man, really happy to connect with you. Quite the intro. Hopefully I can live up to it.
Hey, I will say this. Your countenance always goes before you, right? Like, we carry an aura about us and how we show up in this world, and how you show up makes a difference in people's lives. You're inspiring by how you hold yourself in countenance. So even from the time I ran into you in a random Outback Steakhouse in Bozeman, Montana, to all the times I've seen you here at the show and watch your content, listen to your content, it's you're spoken of very highly in the hunting community. So,
oh, that's really kind. Yeah, that's all I could hope for sure. You know, that and enjoying a bunch of adventures and a bunch of bow hunting. But yeah, same, man. Congratulations on the podcast. Been going since 2019. You said 300 and some episodes now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
It's wild.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of hard work, discipline, dedication. We were talking about getting podcasts recorded and hunting season and kind of the struggle of it, because I understand it running a podcast. It's,
yeah.
I've been going for 11 years, and I've never missed a week on Eastman's Elevated. You know, I'm pretty proud of that.
That's incredible.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely incredible. 11 years.
Mm-hmm. I've had to scramble and do some solo ones at times, you know, or call a buddy and go, hey, I need a podcast. But yeah, 11 years, I've never missed a week.
That's impressive. Now, 11 years ago, podcasts weren't that big of a thing. Mm-hmm. So was that new territory? Like, you've been working with the Eastmans for 11 years, or So were they the ones that were like, hey, let's start a podcast, and Brian, you're going to host it?
No, I mean, Eastman's has treated me really well over the years. And, but at the time, I was writing for them. I don't even know if I was doing filming yet. But my email just didn't get through to the right people when I pitched the ideas. Now, ears kind of perk up when I have an idea in the hunting is. But back then, I didn't have as much of a voice. So I didn't get my idea to the right people. So, I didn't really hear an answer back or get the go-ahead or not something that they were thinking about. And so I just went ahead and started it. And I got about 12 episodes in, and they took notice. And then, we partnered soon after that. So I have been with them for pretty much the life of the podcast, but the first 12 episodes or so, I was solo, started on my own.
Have you ever gone back and listened to episode 1 or episode 2?
Oh my gosh, that would be punishing. No, I know that I've improved a lot over the years, and it's helped me in other skills in life, just communication, even communication with my wife, with at work, being a contractor, hunting industry, just being able to articulate my thoughts. And so it's really given me a lot of improvement in life. But yeah, I talked way too much in those first episodes. There's a lot of mistakes I made, but I think it's like everything in life. The more you do it, the better you get. Hopefully, that's the goal anyway.
I mean, or we're just really stubborn.
Yeah, totally. It could be too.
I love it. So, brother, are you originally from Montana?
No, I'm not. So I'm originally from the Pacific Northwest around Olympia, Washington.
No way.
Yep.
I did not know that.
Yep, I'm a coastie.
What high school did you go to?
Tumwater.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. So I'm from the state of Washington as well.
Okay.
I-5 corridor up north, Snohomish County. I graduated Kamiak High School out of Mukilteo.
Okay.
But how old are you?
That's a good question. I'm 45. I'm going to turn 46 in April. I know this one. You're already stumping me on the podcast. That's not a good sign. Yeah. So graduation was 98.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So my wife, she's from Gig Harbor, and that South Puget Sound air, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, some good steel heading out that way.
Dude, so Tumwater, I never knew that.
Yeah.
That's wild. So what got you out of Washington?
So I wrestled in high school, which taught me a lot of great life lessons, and I poured my everything into it. I loved it and wrestled at a high level, but I didn't go on to college. Just went on to working construction, and I kind of needed a place for my passion, and that kind of went into hunting and fishing, and I had always hunted with my family. I was the first one to have a bow at 13, and then I always really enjoyed it, but my focus was really wrestling, and after that, I just needed a place for my passion, and so really started bow hunting hard. And my dad had told me about the spot he had hunted in Ennis, Montana, where he went elk hunting out and through there, and talked about it. I was like, man, I was 19, had nothing holding me back, and so just pretty much moved out and immersed myself in the outdoors, chasing elk and chasing muley bucks and bears and everything I could chase. So that was really the goal.
That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
So you just moved to Montana and figured it out?
Yeah.
Did you ever get into guiding?
Nope, I never did.
So that's one of the interesting things that I've come to learn within the hunting industry or whatever, is a lot of people cut their teeth in guiding, and then like Jason Matzinger, he ran an outfit for a while, and then stuff turns into other things. But that's cool. So you went out there, you're 19 years old, you're gonna go hunt. You had any sort of construction background at this time, or what were you doing for work? What was paying the bills?
Yeah, so I came out, got a construction job out in Ennis, just immersed myself both in construction and in the outdoors. All my free time was spending time hunting, and it was any hunting back then. It was bow, rifle, shed hunting, bear hunting. Any time I could be in the mountains, it's just spend a lot of time doing it and learn through experience and hard knocks. And I fell in love with it. It's I just eat up anything I could read about hunting or bow hunting. I'd spend so much time doing it. And you start killing some good critters and start setting bigger goals. And then, at first it was just traveling around Montana, and then it was traveling around to other states and hunting their species. It was different different species in different environments would improve my skill sets in different ways, but I was just all in, man. I'm still all in. I just love it with every fiber of my being. I went bow hunting only in about 2005, and so I haven't picked up a rifle since 2005. And there's a lot of great lessons to learn with a rifle, and hunting with a rifle is fun and challenging. Like, it can be tough to find animals, there are tough seasons, there's hunting pressure. I learned like a lot of great lessons in rifle hunting, but bow hunting, I mean, it lights my soul on fire, man. It's what I love to do, is getting close, and it's like another level to getting close. It's like, with the rifle at 200 yards, if you're proficient and know how to execute a good shot, which is easier said than done too, but the game's over with. But with the bow, it's just beginning at 200 yards. So I feel like it's like the next level of hunting. And so once I got hooked on it, it's like, if I really want to get good at it, I have to commit to it and spend all my time bow hunting. And so that's what I did.
Okay, so you said you competed in athletics at a high level.
Mm-hmm.
Did that mindset transfer into hunting and then into bow hunting specifically? Like you knew what it take to achieve, and you knew what it take to overcome adversity and all that. So did you view that hunting, whether it's bow hunting or just hunting in general, as like the next challenge?
100%, Johnny. That's like exactly what I did, man. It's like, in wrestling, I just learned these great life lessons. Like, the harder you worked at something, the more you could achieve. And, wrestling, it builds character, it builds grit and tenacity. Like, you have to want it. It's one-on-one. It's not a team sport. And so, I learned a lot of great lessons through wrestling. And I just needed a place for those life lessons I had learned for my passion, something that I love to do. So, hunting and bow hunting took the place of that. And I just started working harder. And, I built on that toughness and grit that I had built, wrestling. I just found that same love and work ethic that I poured into hunting and then bow hunting. And really, I poured it into everything in life. It's why I have a successful business. It's why I'm good financially. It's why, it's like, how you do one thing is how you do everything. But I learned a lot of those lessons early on in wrestling, and then, just really able to pour my everything into hunting and then bow hunting. And after I started to see success and see it work for me, like, man, I don't do any high dollar hunts. I used to say with my buddies, I don't get lucky, which isn't completely true, but that I have to earn everything.
Yeah.
And so, I'm just doing it like everybody else out there. Public land, do it yourself, figure it out. Mm-hmm. But I've been able to build these skills through hard work and dedication to the craft, and discipline to get workouts, be in good shape, the mental edge. Like, it just poured my everything into it, and it's paid me back tenfold, man.
Now, we have so much to break that down, because there's so many questions I want to follow up with. First and foremost, where does family fit into that? Mm-hmm. Because you are a family man. You got kids, you're married, all this. How did that fall into the relationship and that dynamic of, I love hunting and not but, it's not either or, it's a both, right? So I love hunting and I want to be a good husband, and I want to be a good father, and I want to show up day to day. How did you go about managing that?
Family's definitely number one. It means everything to me. But, when I met my now wife, like, I told her, like, I was able to communicate and tell her how important it was to me that, I love doing this, and I'm going to go hunting this season. And that was back when she was a girlfriend and we didn't have kids. But it's like, if you want to stick around, I'm going to be gone a lot and going to come back. So I conditioned her from the very start. But no, I think to be a good bow hunter, you have to have the rest of your life squared away. And so I've always, like, just communicated really well the love of it, the importance of it, and then I work really hard to be a great provider and a great husband. And so, right now we're planning a family vacation. It's not really my deal. I love spending time with them and going on the beach, but that's not what I'd love to do. But I know it's important to her to go on these trips, so we're planning that. And then, I'm really present when I'm at home. I learned, I would take my construction work or stress home with me, and that wasn't really working out too well for me. So now it's like, put my phone down on the night table. I don't pick it up at night, and we eat dinner as a family every night together at the dinner table, and we laugh and joke around, and I'm really present with my wife and my kids. So when I'm home, I focus on that. And communicate and know what's important to her and make that happen. And then, I've been able to provide and build this good life for her, so she just trusts me. And I've been able to slowly move the goalposts year after year and hunt a little bit more and a little bit more. But no, it's all good. I've just been really honest with her and told her that it's important to me. She tells me what's important to her, and then just work really hard at being a good husband as well. And I've just built like the perfect life for me as a human being.
Yeah, you create the existence that you want.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I totally have.
And we're not victims to this world. And I remember talking to you a couple years ago after COVID and talking about my relocation to Texas and struggles and dynamics and all that. And I remember you saying, hey, you also still get to be positive. You also still get to keep showing up and keep, earning it. That stuck with me. I don't know if you remember that conversation over when the tent was put up over there when you guys were next to the Cryptech booth, but that was something that really stuck with me. And I was like, dude, doggone it, Brian, you're right. You got it going on. So your inspiration, and I believe that inspired people inspire people. When you live inspired, you naturally ooze it out of just how you show up in this world. So really cool. So if you are only bow hunting, then do you only big game hunt?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so kind, man. Yeah, thanks so much. That means a lot. It's like the one thing you can control is like your perspective and your outlook. And yeah, I'm just such a glass half full and try to look at the situation and try to solve the situation I'm in or look at the bright side. But yeah, that's means a lot, man. Yeah, thank you. So I'm sorry, what was your question?
Okay, so I love hunting.
Yep.
I want to hunt everything, any style, just get me out there. But when you say, I haven't picked up a rifle in so long, are you only big game hunting then? Like, you don't predator hunt, you don't, is that also how you were able to dedicate and really be specific and hone in?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, I enjoy bird hunting. I enjoy duck hunting, and I learned some great lessons along the way when in my youth when I tried to kind of do it all. So I think duck hunting or even bird hunting at that, you get more chances to squeeze shots off, to fire the shotgun, and so you still have to keep your calm when birds flush, when ducks are coming into the decoys. You have to lead them, place your shot right, execute a shot. So I think that can play and make you a better bow hunter. I think, I hunted small game, some coyotes as a kid. It gained some good experience there. But yeah, I really got hooked on bow hunting, and I knew that was what I wanted to do. And the more time I could spend bow hunting, the better I would get at it. Like, experience is the best teacher.
Yes.
And so, since that's what I love to do, that's what I gravitated towards spending my time doing. And I feel like when I bow hunt only, I stay in this mindset of like, I always know what the wind's doing. I always know what the undulation is in front of me. I know how to get close to animals. It's never just hurry up and shoot like it would be with a rifle when I run into something. And so like I keep this higher level mentality of always thinking of every situation with a bow and how I can get close. So yeah, I mean, I don't know that that's necessary, but it is what I'm drawn to, and I would always be extending my seasons or trying to do another hunt. And so pretty soon, that's about all I do is bow hunt. The other thing I do is I fly fish. So that's what I do in the spring and early summer is kind of my season to do that. So yeah. I do love fly fishing, but I find so many correlations between bow hunting and fly fishing, of reading water, of fishing pressure, of doing the right things, all the time. And then eventually you get rewarded for it. And big browns are really tough, and I feel like I'm hunting them to try to figure out the right system,
right,
the right holes. And really, there's so many correlations between bow hunting and life. Like, you can really correlate all of these attributes to being good in construction or being a good husband. Like, you can correlate a lot of these things. But yeah, pretty much for me, it's bow hunting and fly fishing. Some trail running too. I love that too. But yeah.
Okay, so on our way walking over here, I was talking to you about how your name got brought up on a podcast. now I remember Ryan Munzie.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I had on recently, that it's been multiple years. I revisited his book, and his episode's going to be coming out here. Well, by the time the listeners hear this, it'll already be out. But I revisited his book, and I really loved where he talks about awareness creates choice. Awareness creates choice. And we don't know what we don't know, but when we want to know something, dude, it's all in, huh? When you became aware of, hey, I don't have to have a victim mindset. I get to have a growth mindset. Anything is truly possible. I teach social studies, and I'm always talking about the American dream and the Bill of Rights and stuff like this. Like, dude, if God is the creator, and if all the listeners, if you don't have any sort of faith background, chew on this for a little bit. If God is the creator and we're made in his image, then we are co-creators in our world. And if we are not creating, then we're not honoring God and honoring ourselves in what we're doing. So I view hunting or application of dedication in whatever you're doing as we are creating and living out our purpose. Do you have any faith background or any sort of mindset, emotional intelligence training background where you pull from this? Or is this just instilled with you from you chose it one day when you were a kid and you're like, that's how I operate?
That's really well said, man. I can tell I just learned something about you, that you're an educator. It's such a perfect fit for you, man. It's like, it makes sense now. Like, I almost should have solved the puzzle before I heard that. But yeah, I think, mindset is one of those things, like being spiritual, being aware of your life and trying to make the most of it. Like, yeah, I think it's something that I learned throughout time. Like, I love Ryan Muncie. He's got, his book is great. He's actually got a new one on the way.
We talked about that.
I don't know if I'm supposed to say, but yeah, I'm really excited for it. I love his book. I read a lot on that, personal development and personal improvement, and pretty soon you just start to buy into it or see the success of it, and you start to see, I may have problems at work, and like I can either dwell on it, the problem, and I can come up with all the worst case scenarios, or I work on the solution, I work it out, I present it, work through the clients with it, and I get to the answer and get it solved. And so I just started to learn these lessons in life, started to pay attention to it, and started to develop this mindset, and having positivity and looking at a situation and seeing the bright side. Like, man, it's I can miss a shot, or I can mess up a stock on a buck that I've been dreaming about for my whole life. But to look at it and go, man, that was worth the price of admission. That was a close call in there. That was really cool. Here's my takeaways from it. Here's what I'm going to do next time, and I'm going to get back after it, kind of ride out those lows. Then I get another chance at another buck, and I put a good arrow in them, and and I'm successful. Like, I put so much work into this bow hunting that it feels like when I accomplish my goals, I've climbed Everest. But you don't just climb Everest one time, or maybe some people do, but like once I accomplish that, it's like, well, can't really rest on my laurels. Like, that was a great adventure. I'm really proud of myself for doing that, but time to get back to work and plan the next adventure, you know? And so I think it's something, to answer your question, it's something I've developed over time and gotten way better at by paying attention to it.
Yeah. Leaders are readers. That's what I believe. Mm-hmm. So what books are you reading, or what books have you read that really captivated you or inspired you?
Mm-hmm. A lot of growth books, like the Comfort Crisis was a great one. That was a great one. I love Ryan Muncie's book. I won't F Your Feelings.
Yeah, it's always hard to say the title.
Yeah, I know. I just don't swear a whole lot. But it's a great book. I love Goggins' books and Cameron Haynes' books, and man, it's like anything I can get my hands on. Or I listen to a lot of audiobooks on my runs nowadays, and I've always got new books. I also love like history as well, and so I'll read into that. But most of mine is like all in human performance, all in mindset, all in self-improvement. Like those are the books that I'm really drawn to.
That's where I'm at as well. Have you ever heard of the book The Surrender Experiment?
I don't think I have.
So the author, I'm drawing a blank on the author right now, but he wrote, that's a New York Times bestseller, and then he followed it up with Untethered Soul. Have you ever heard of that book?
Yeah, I have heard of that book.
Okay, same author.
Okay.
Untethered Soul was the most impactful book I've ever read in my life. I struggle with internal dialogue. Like that's one of the things that stems from trauma of my youth, right? Like I teach life skills and social studies. So I work in a disciplined campus, and 70% of my students end up incarcerated in their life. One of my students just committed a triple murder last year. Another one of my students helped hide the bodies. They're both in jail. And so we talk about life skills and mindset. And you're always at an intersection of a growth mindset or a victim mindset. And you have to have enough reason to change, or you have an excuse to stay the same. How that ties into everything is that we filter our perception of the world based off of our experiences of ages 2 to 6. And because that's during the time when we're getting nurtured, we're getting cared for, when we need something, are we getting supported? Are we being talked to and learning how to operate and how to speak to people? The communication part that you mentioned earlier. All of that stems from ages 2 to 6, filters it, which then leads to our thoughts. Our thoughts create our feelings. Feelings create actions. Actions create consequences, and then that cycle just loops over and over. How this ties into Untethered Soul and how that book was so impactful is inner dialogue. So what I've learned in my adult years as I've dove more into this and really mindset, because whether you're, like you said, how you do one thing is how you do everything, which I love that saying, is if I'm going to allow thoughts to come into my head that dictate my feelings, that dictate how I operate, and then whether I want a good marriage or be a good father or be a good worker or be a good hunter, or you name it, the list goes on, I need to control my mind. And inner dialogue is something that we talk with ourselves all the time, whether we recognize it or not. But not all thoughts in our head are real or true. And so when we take the thoughts in our head and to believe them as true, like that's truth, it's in my head, well, you repeat a lie long enough, it becomes the truth. It becomes reality. And so that book was one that really changed my life when it came to understanding that I get to have a choice on the dialogue that's in my head. And that was mind-blowing, because when we're in the mountains, when we're running trails or going through difficult situations, we talk to ourselves. No, keep going. No, you got this. Like, don't quit now. Do you ever, what type of self-dialogue do you have with yourself?
Boy, that's such a great, elegant explanation of that, and that book, and really how it works. I love that. I think inner dialogue, it's something I've had to work on, but I just try to be the man that I'm proud of. Like, I try to let my actions dictate, like, the person I am. And so, my inner dialogue, like, I've got a lot of confidence in my own skills, and I try to enjoy the process and not just the end goal. Is like, I pushed so hard for success when I was young, but and I still push hard for success. That's what I love to do, is I love to arrow big critters and push myself to my limits. And, in the end, if I can outsmart a wily old buck, like, man, I've done it, And so I do like to arrow bucks, but I've also found that I can push too hard and not enjoy the journey. And so, like, when I'm out there, I've been training so hard. I've been dreaming of this and researching this. And so, like, man, I just try to take it all in. Like, man, I'm in the most beautiful place on planet Earth. This is wild. Like, I get to hunt this extreme country. Man, am I fortunate I have a tag here. Man, am I fortunate that that I've got a wife that supports this, and I've got workers that I can put in charge and delegate, that they're taking care of work while I'm gone. Like, this is amazing, man. I'm living the life that I've always dreamed of. Like, did I kill that buck this morning? No, I spooked him, and I thought I had a good stock, and it didn't work out. But I'm still out here, and I still have 5 or 6 days, and the outcome like can change in seconds, and so I just try to be gracious of the situation, humble. So I think my self-talk throughout the years, I used to be fairly tough on myself, but it's just who I am at this point. Like you say, you do it long enough, you start to believe it. And not that I'm believing some make-believe character, but I display, the character that I want in situations. I'm a good person, a good friend. I'm good to my family. And so, like, you have these choices in life to make the right decision or the wrong decision. You talked about the victim mentality
Yep.
or the growth mindset, which I thought was beautiful, the way that crossroads, the way you described that. So I just, when faced with decisions, I try to choose the right decision, try to treat people the right way. And so I've like built a person that I'm really proud of, and I'm really confident in my skills. I work really hard.
Yeah.
Like, I don't miss workouts. I'm really disciplined. I hunt really hard. I give it my all. So I just don't have these voices of doubt or these negative thoughts. They don't come to me as often, or I don't have to fight them away. Like, I am proud of the person I am, and I'm so thankful for the life I get to live, and man, every day on a hunt or even not on a hunt, like, man, I'm just happy to be here and living the life I am. So I think that's kind of the way my mindset has kind of shifted and evolved over the years, where, man, it's pretty positive in my own head. I'm
Yeah.
pretty encouraging to myself. Yeah.
Yeah, you're your own best friend.
Yeah, if that makes sense. Yeah, totally, man.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so with your passion for bow hunting as much as it is it only for you? Or have you ever gotten your wife into shooting a bow and your children? And then what was that dynamic like?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I do have my wife and kids into it. It's just not their passion. It doesn't light their soul on fire like it does mine. And I try to cater experiences. I went with my daughter this year, but they more do it to spend time with dad, to do an adventure with dad. And that's great. We cater the experience. I make time for it. I mean, this year I had found the most giant buck on this hunt. He's a double sticker buck. He's well over 200 inches in the late season. And I found him. I got a stock on him. I actually got into bow range, grunted at him twice, snort wheezed at him. He finally stopped, and I drew my bow, and he kept walking. And I followed him over the burnt ridge and chased him for another hour with these does. I finally made a mistake, went in the timber with these does, and I thought I was clear to move, and there was a doe that caught me. But anyways, the point of this story is this is a dream buck that I've been working really hard towards. But my daughter had a weekend to hunt, and so I had to call it quits on that buck. I had to get, I chose to go home, go spend that time with my daughter, go on this hunt. That's a once-in-a-lifetime buck. Now, did I go back and arrow a great buck? Yes, I did. But I also got in that hunt with my daughter. That's really important to me, to spend time with her. And she's graduating high school, and she was excited for it. And so, that's something that I can't miss. So, yeah, I mean, through this, there's like decisions that you have to make. And, that's a decision I had to make, or chose to make, is to go do that hunt with my daughter. So, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that drives me, but yeah, I also have to make good decisions along the way, of what's really important to me. So I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tying this back to the beginning of our podcast, where we were talking about how long you've done it and how long I've been at it and stuff like that. So I got into podcasting, and by the way, thanks for sharing that answer. I don't want to skip over that.
No worries.
I got into podcasting because I wanted to learn how to hunt. I was like, what better way to have a conversation, to sit down with somebody and have, especially in today's age where cell phones, electronics, like constant buzz, instant access, to schedule time to be able to sit one-on-one and have dedicated conversation time. Really special. I love it. With that being said, my hunting journey I've yet to kill a mule deer.
Mhm.
That is something that, the icon of the West, the mule deer. And I went from a state that offered it to now I live in Texas. And there are mule deer in Texas, but they're on private land and hard to get access to.
Mhm.
That is something that is a bucket list for me. Like I have talking about dreaming and visualizing it and all that. I have in my head a 4x4 mule deer with eye guards, deep forks. It doesn't need a lot of trash. I'll take whatever. Like blondes or brunettes, sure, I'll take whatever. Doesn't but ultimately, like that's what I'm visualizing, and so I am gonna at some point make it right to be able to get out there and do it. You've been chasing mule deer and elk for how many years now? Quite some time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I moved out when I was 19, and I've been chasing elk and mule deer since before that. But yeah, I mean, it'll date me a little bit, but 25, 30 years. Yeah.
I love that. So what is your animal to target? Is it mule deer? Is it elk? Is it just, it doesn't matter because I'm hunting with a bow and I'm getting to go through the pursuit?
Yeah. I mean, it is whatever animal I'm hunting. I'm like so fortunate. Like all of these experiences are different, to be able to go to a different habitat like the desert and go immerse myself. Like I just got back. I drew an odd-ad sheep hunt in New Mexico. I'd never hunted them before, but to immerse myself in this wild desert landscape with cliffs and buttes and bands and everything's loose, and then really get this sheep experience of glassing 10 square miles, not seeing an animal, another 10 square miles, and then finally seeing a band of sheep that's 6 miles out, and I got to lose a bunch of elevation. Like that experience was amazing. It was so cool to immerse myself in it, and I've had the good fortune of like traveling all over the United States, Alaska, Hawaii, New Zealand, Australia, like go to all these places and chase all these species. And while I'm doing that, I'm all in. And when it's September in the elk rut, I am all in on hunting elk and chasing big bulls. And I love it. I love being able to chase. When it's antelope season, it's like I love that. It's so fun, and you get so many stalks, and they're so switched on. Their eyesight is so good. So it's like I really love hunting like whatever the season is, and having my bow in my hands and trying to solve that puzzle. I love axis deer, but saying all that, like muleys are my absolute favorite, man. It's like get to hunt them in such extreme environments. They can live anywhere from the mountaintops to the desert floor, the foothills, the badlands, the breaks, and so I get to go to all these wild places, and the mule deer is so wily, so switched on. Their instincts are so keen. Like thousands of years of evolving, of avoiding mountain lions that have to kill them with tooth and claws, that are the sneakiest predator on planet Earth. Like it is tough to outsmart a big old wily mule deer, and everybody wants a big mule deer or 200-inch mule deer. Very few guys have them, and especially very few guys have them with a bow and arrow. So it's the ultimate challenge, and I tend to get opportunities at them, but I mean, I get to hunt the wildest places, man. I killed a buck. We made a film about it, a high country buck. It wasn't last year, it was the year before, but I killed him at 12-2 in just the gnarliest country, and it was 10 days of everything I had, and finally arrowed that buck, and he fell off a couple 100-foot cliff. His horns were still intact, but just this amazing mule deer. Like last year, man, I hunted a late season high mountain buck. So the story I told you about my daughter and having to leave that buck, I went back, and it's deep snow and bitter cold. Like it snowed 1.5 feet on me in there. It's below zero. I'm by myself solo backpacking this place in the snow and the cold. I had to chop through a lake with a hatchet to be able to get my water, just to be able to survive in there, and it's tough. It takes grit. There's no other hunters in there, and to be able to arrow my best late season buck and make a perfect shot and have him fall over right in front of me in there meant the absolute world to me, above 9,000 foot in the wintertime, and so muleys, man, they're king in my book. I love hunting them.
Hey, when you hunt the backcountry, do you always try to take a trailhead in?
Yeah, so the trailheads are like where most people park. Trails are the highways of the backcountry, so it's a way to cover miles quickly instead of having to bushwhack into country. So it depends on the spot, but yeah, most of the time I'm going to park at a trailhead, I'm going to take a trail in, I'm going to get back there a ways, and then I'm going to go off trail from there.
Then you're going to run ridges and get to where you want to go.
Yeah.
I like that. Man, I got to hunt mule deer.
Yeah.
I got 6 points in Wyoming.
Oh, you've been building points, so you're building a plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Wyoming mule deer, I mean, not to get too in the weeds with them, but they had the bad winter in 22 on the western side. So Wyoming is one of my favorite states of all time to hunt mule deer. So they had the bad winter in 22. Now, during 22, all the young ones and the old ones died. It took their deer herd in half, or maybe even more so. Winter killed a bunch of deer. So basically those bucks that survived in 22 were like the healthiest bucks there, the biggest bodies, and they were in the prime age class, like 2 to 4. So the young ones died, the old ones died. That was in 22. So now we're in 25. So, last year was 25 hunting season. Last year, those same bucks that were 2 to 4 were 4 to 6. They killed a lot of good deer in there. 4 to 6 is prime time for killing mule deer. Next year, they'll be 5 to 7. But the deal is like they will be 5 to 7, but a lot of them got shot out last year. So there's a lot less deer in there that are 5 to 7. That is prime age class. Now, they say that mule deer grow the biggest body size and the biggest racks. Like the most crucial key component of that is the health of the doe when she has her fawn. The health of the doe is measured by her fat content. After a bad winter, does know that was a bad winter, so the next winters after that, they put on more fat content. So does coming into that bad winter, they were actually in pretty good shape because they had been through some bad winters. It's the only reason the herd survived, but they were like 11, 12% body fat, and now like 23 and 24, they had over 90% fawn recruitment in that Wyoming range. And those does that had those fawns in 23 and 24 had fat contents close to 15%, some of the healthiest does of all time. So what that means is they're going to grow exceptional bucks. So I'm giving away some trade secrets, but this year in 26, you're going to have a lot of those 5 to 7 year old mutant big bucks, which I'm seeing on the winter range. And then you're also, those bucks that made it are 2 and 3 years old. Now, a 3-year-old buck can get really big. I killed a 182 3-year-old, which I like to kill 4 or older, but he had this giant rack, and I didn't notice he was 3 until after I killed him, but he was a 3-year-old buck that went 182. So some of these mutant bucks are going to be 2 and 3 this year, which is good, but I really think the years are like 27, 28, where that fawn recruitment, those bucks that are 2 and 3 are going to be 3 and 4, and then going to be 4 and 5. The herd's recovering really well. There's like half the deer in there that there were, so it's tougher to find bucks. There's still some good ones around, but I'm glad you got some points in Wyoming. Let's visit before you put in and before you apply. But it's a great opportunity to get that high country experience and chase big bucks around the mountains.
Yeah. Dude, you just got me jacked right now hearing you talk. You know your stuff.
Yeah, I'm a student of the game, man. It's like not only am I good at stalking and good at shooting, like I've got a good knowledge base about the species that I hunt. Like I really know the species well. Like it's what I love to do. I eat, breathe, and sleep bow hunting, and especially mule deer.
Where do you go to gather your information? Are you just constantly in contact with biologists, or are you state websites, or where do you go for your knowledge?
Yeah, there's some studies that are coming out of Wyoming, migration studies, and there's a couple places they're put out. Trying to remember the name of it, but yeah, I'll read studies and papers that are really boring to read on mule deer. I do talk to biologists, talk to really intelligent people, and I pick up intel there. So a lot of reading, a lot of talking to people in the know. And I'm just a student of mule deer and their habits, and so that content just rattles around in my brain a lot. Like I know the animals I hunt for sure. Yeah.
Awesome. At what point did you feel like the learning curve of what you knew and how to hunt really like elevated?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, it's there's all these skills that go into being a complete bow hunter, and I like talk about it as like the pillars of hunting. And if you have a weak point, it gets exploited on these hunts. And so I think there's like all these pillars that I work on: my physical fitness, my mental game, I work on my shooting, I work on my stalking, and then I work on my knowledge, my planning. And so like I have all these different pillars of skills that I work on. And so really it's difficult every year, man. It's like people would be surprised how hard I have to grind. But yeah, I mean, I did an early season high country hunt last year that I did not fill out on. Found a couple great bucks, but I spent 7 days scouting, 7 days hunting. And then to kill my first mule deer last year, I had an 8-day hunt. So, I mean, you add that up, that's 22 days to kill a mule deer, you know? And
Wow.
I did kill another one in maybe 8 or 10 days. And so, but yeah, I mean, 22, I had 32 days of hunting mule deer last year, you know? And so elk last year, I had to grind. The year before, I hunted elk 3 days and I killed 2 giant bulls. Now, that was magic. That doesn't happen to me. I told you I don't get lucky. I got lucky that year. But last year, I hunted elk for well over, like I had a couple elk tags. I killed a nice 6-point bull, but I had 16 days into killing that bull.
Okay.
So I put a lot into it, you know?
Okay, that brings me to a great question. And I'm a school teacher. My time is limited. When I moved from the state of Washington down to Texas, I left a lot of sick time or vacation days in Washington, like over a month. And now here I am being well into my teaching years of 20 plus years, but now I have 0 sick time. So what I get each year between having sick children or doing stuff with soul seekers, my time is limited. I'm trying to stack days, but it seems like, you know, 1 year is I'm only able to carry over like 1 or 2 days each. So here I am, 6 points with Wyoming mule deer. I want to hunt. I know time, like you just talked about the amount of days it took that you put into killing an animal. What's the best way for me to do it if time is limited, right? Like I'm a weekend warrior, Friday, Monday's off type thing. Great. Do I need to buy a plane ticket and fly up to Wyoming in the summer in July? Or what's the best ways for people who don't live out west and can't just boots on the ground that easily? Like, what would you recommend?
Yeah. So, like, definitely time is the equalizer, and it's something that I've really structured my life to get a lot of time to do it. But yeah, it's difficult with big goals and big ambitions. Like, you got to have time on your side. But I have been a weekend warrior, and two, running a business. Like, I lost one of my best carpenters in, you know, I can't remember if it was 21, 22, something like that, 22, I think. And, man, it meant I was back to being a weekend warrior and had to be on the job site and get things done. And, you know, it's just the way it was for that season. But being a weekend warrior, like, you just have to be efficient with your time. So I don't know if it's buying a ticket because Wyoming's so far away, but yeah, I mean, I try to work it into a family trip, doing a long weekend up there, doing some scouting. If you spend the time scouting for mule deer, you'll figure out kind of where they're living and have a better idea about the unit. So that's one way that you could spend time doing it where you're not taking time in the fall. And then, you know, maybe you have summers off, and so you can plan a week with your family. You can go camp out in Wyoming, and then you go hike at daybreak, and you go hike up to your vantage point, come down, spend the rest of the day with the family, maybe go out with them and look in the evening from afar with the spotting scope, get a feel for where those bucks are, what the country looks like, how it is to hike up in there. So you can definitely get days and get ahead of your knowledge by scouting like that. And then being a weekend warrior, man, it's tough. And especially a trip to Wyoming, you're going to have to be all in because it's so far. So I mean, most of the time being a weekend warrior, you stated it, a Friday or a Monday is a great way. Like, if you got a week off, like you got a Saturday and Sunday and you take a Friday, all of a sudden you got 3 days. And we're fortunate in in Montana, we have really long seasons. So we have like a 6-week archery season. So all of a sudden, like, if you can't take off 6 weeks or even 2 weeks, but you have a week off and you take an extra day or two on each of those weekends, you actually hunt really efficient in like 3 days or in 4 days.
Yeah.
Because you go really hard, your mind's not worn down, you've got fresh legs, and then you're able to go home, you get back to work, and then you're able to kind of process that hunt, what you did right, what you did wrong, where the animals were. You get a new game plan for the next weekend and you add a Friday, and then you go for that weekend, you know? And so, like, I think that's a good way to do it. I mean, really, a lot of these hunts that I'm traveling more than 12 hours, I'm an all-in-one hunt as well. And so, you know, it's tough to hunt 10 days hard. Like, we're most efficient, 3 days, 5 days. I'm really efficient in a 5-day window. I love that. But if I'm all in and it's the hunt I want to do, I think it's spending time doing that hunt, trying to take care of things like early in our life. So, I'm trying to put myself in your shoes where, trying not to miss any days early, trying to be there and put in extra work so you have those days saved for that hunting season and for that trip. Don't plan any other hunts that year, or if you are, it's around home and it's a Saturday and Sunday where you're not taking off time, and then you're telling your family, like, this means a lot to me. I've saved up for 8 years in this. You tell the school that, and a lot of times, like, I can tell that you're a really good educator. You care a lot about your job. And so, maybe you could work not only your vacation days, but just talking to your supervisor and going, man, this really means a lot to me. It's always been my life's goal to kill a mule deer. What about a couple days non-paid, or can I add a couple sick days on top of that to really go on this hunt?
Yeah.
If it's important to you, like, I think you can make it happen, and you don't need the kind of time that I do to find success. I've been a weekend warrior my whole life, and I think, like, traveling in the dark is one thing. Now, you don't want to get dangerous. If you get tired, you got to pull off and take a nap, but I travel a lot in the dark. I travel trailheads to get into where I'm going with a headlamp, so I'm not wasting that morning vantage point. I kind of look at hunts as like, okay, if you got a 3-day weekend, that's 6 hunts, morning, evening, morning, evening, morning, evening. Now, if you're leaving Sunday to drive home, you lose that evening. If you're hiking in, that Friday during the day, you're losing that morning. So now all of a sudden this 6 hunt that you were going to go on is now a 4 hunt because you're losing those 2 hunts. So you're going to have to be really efficient with your time. You're going to have to be creative, but where there's a will, there's a way, man.
Yeah. I love that. Well, so that's exactly what I was thinking, and absolutely beautiful. I have 6 points for antelope. I'm actually putting in for antelope this year. As much as I want to put in for mule deer because I want to hunt it, I also got to be strategic. I got to know how to attack it, right? The art of war, right? Like,
totally.
You got to know your enemy, and not that the animals are our enemy, but time can be an enemy at times. And so focus on that, and then using resources such as onX Hunt Research Tools, Eastman's Tag Hub, all this different stuff that's available for people to be like, okay, let's wait. What type of animal do you want? What do you want an experience? Do you want a backcountry hunt? Do you want a desert hunt? And then just go get it.
Yep.
Go have some fun.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Are you familiar, segueing back to when we were talking about books, because you brought this up about being a student of the game. Are you familiar with Malcolm Gladwell's 10,000 hour rule?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in it too.
Okay, yeah. Like you said that with a straight face, like, oh yeah, right there. So how many hours do you think you have into bow hunting?
Oh man, I mean, I think if anybody has the 10,000 hours I do, like,
Yeah.
I spend a ton of time, and that's the thing. Like, everybody's in their own place in their journey, and comparison is a thief of joy, right? And
Yep.
so, like, comparing yourself to somebody else and what they accomplish or what they do, it can make you feel bad about yourself and your own accomplishments, So we're all at a different place in our journey of bow hunting. So you don't want to compare yourself to other people. You want to be inspired and happy for people that are working hard, that accomplish their goals. And then you want to learn from them and get takeaways. And so, you can't compare yourself to a guy like me that has dedicated his entire life to bow hunting and has been going so hard over 100 days a year for 25 years. Like, it's like I hunt multiple different species every single year. And yeah, I mean, I probably spend 100 days in the field, and some people only get 7 days in the field. Like, I get 10 years worth of experience in one season, and then stack that against 25 years of doing that. That's why I'm so good at bow hunting.
Yeah. And it's not an arrogance thing. It's the numbers game. Like, you full on have just put the time in.
I'm a slow learner. I'm actually not that smart. I just spend a lot of time doing it.
Dude, I love it. Ryan Lampers, a few years ago, I podcasted with him, and he's always been known for killing big animals and stuff like that. And I sat down with him. I was like, dude, how is it that you're so consistent on killing these big animals? He said, I don't ever do a hunt if it's less than 7 days. And I was like, aha. Like, he goes, preferably 10.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I like to spend time doing it. As tags get tougher and tougher, I just want to give them their due. And really, I mean, I'm going into a unit to try to find the biggest buck in that unit or the biggest bull in that unit and then try to put a perfect arrow into them. I'd have the ultimate challenge on my hands. And bow hunting, as you know, is one of the most difficult endeavors on planet Earth. Like, it feels like mission impossible a lot of times. So when I draw a hunt and something that I really want to do, I'm going to put my everything into it. I'm going to plan my days. I'm going to go hard. So, yeah, I mean, last year, that hunt I went on that I was unsuccessful, I scouted for 7 days before the season opened and then hunted 7 days. There was 14 days I spent on that hunt. I didn't arrow a buck. I didn't even get a stock on a buck. Now, it's a great unit. It's a great rifle unit. Had a couple shooters turned up in scouting. Didn't work out. But you know, you also have to take chances being a public land do-it-yourself hunter. You need to learn new units, and you take chances, and they don't always pan out. You know, it's a great unit. They kill great bucks in there, but it didn't work out for me that time and probably won't go back to that. I got some other good units in that state I'll go to, but, you know, live and learn.
Yeah. How do you practice stalks?
So for me, it's hunting a bunch. It's hunting high opportunity hunts. Now, you just mentioned that antelope hunt. You couldn't get a better education than trying to spot and stalk an antelope with a bow. It's extremely difficult. They're really tough to arrow. But the nice thing about antelope is you get a ton of opportunities. So, you know, for antelope, you know, mule deer, elk, I mean, I might get 3 to 5 stalks a season, you know, on those. But antelope, I might get 3 to 5 stalks in a day, you know. And if if I don't kill one, they can jump your string too. You can make a perfect shot. They can get out of the way. I might get 20 stalks into trying to kill an antelope, you know, and so that's a lot of experience, and it teaches you what you can get away with and what you can't. It hones your instincts. It makes you better. So I think high opportunity hunts, it's not always about that big buck or that big bull. It's antelope hunts. It's whitetail doe hunts. It's hog hunts where you're at. It's I go to Hawaii, I hunt axis deer, I hunt mouflon, like I hunt a bunch. That's what makes me better at stalking. The other thing you can do is like summertime when you have time, you know, the animals are really healthy and you're not harassing them, and just go up on the forest and find a deer and try to sneak up on it and kind of learn what you can get away with and what you can't. And I would do that when I was younger. Now I get most of my experience through bow hunting itself, but that would be a way to improve your skill set.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Shoes off or shoes on?
I'm a shoes on most of the time.
Yeah.
I know what I can get away with and what I can't. I've learned throughout the years. So if it's really still out, I might go socks. And I've actually used stocking shoes, like really minimalist running shoes, because the rubber tends to stick to grass and rocks and dirt a little bit more. But I mean, anymore, I wear like a tennis shoe or like a mountain shoe that's Gore-Tex, but I have better feel to the ground than a big heavy hiking boot and not as stiff edges on it. And so most of the time, I mean, almost all the time nowadays, I'm killing them in my shoes, and I just know when I can stalk and when I can't. So if it's really still in the morning or if I've got snow, I'm just not going to stalk that buck because I know it's so quiet he's going to hear me coming. And then I'll wait till the afternoon till the directionals pick up, and it's like, okay, he's not going to hear me now. Now I'll slip in there, you know. So I just kind of know what I can get away with and what I can't, but anymore, I killed every animal I killed this year in my shoes, and probably the last couple years have all been in my shoes. I'm trying to remember the last one I killed in my socks. I mean, I can remember a buck in the high country, but it's actually been quite a few years since I've killed one of my socks. I used to take them off more. I used to pack stocking shoes with me, and I think stocking shoes are a good idea. Sheep Feet built a pair of stocking shoes that they got me that I have, and yeah, just a lot of times I'm backpacking and counting ounces, and if I'm going to cut the handle off my toothbrush, then I'm probably not going to bring stocking shoes, but I kill most of them in my shoes, to answer your question.
I love it. What has hunting done for you?
Absolutely everything, man. I mean, it's done a lot for me. It's so rewarding. I found my thing. I found my passion, you know, something that I love to do with every fiber in my being. And so really, I owe all the success in my life to bow hunting. I mean, my business, I mean, even my marriage, even kids. Like, it gives me, when I'm away like that, it gives me perspective on my life of what I'm doing and how I'm operating and how I can be better. And so it lets me kind of reflect upon my life because I have so much time. And sure, I've got this goal, but there's a lot of downtime on a hunt, you know? And so really I built, you know, this character, and I built this toughness and this grit and this tenacity. And I mean, the reason I work so hard is so I've got time off during bow season. I mean, now anymore, you know, I want to do a good job for my clients. I always have, but it's really like just shape my character into this person that I'm really proud of. And so just like we started the conversation, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And, you know, I guess there was times in my youth where I thought I could just be a dirtbag and just hunt, but really you got to have your life together to go hunting. You got to have money to put gas in your truck, and so you got to provide for your family, and you know, you have to have your home life dialed, you know, so you can go. You have to have your business in a good place, so you're taking care of everything you can take care of, so you can be gone for this amount of time. So, I mean, I really owe a lot. I mean, I won't say everything, but I owe a lot to bow hunting. I'm so fortunate that I found it, and I'm still so fired up. So I'm 45 now, going to be 46. I'm in the best shape of my life and getting even better. Like, I'm in this growth mindset where I'm definitely not finished. It's like there's no ceiling to how good I can get. So I'm working on all my skill sets, right? I'm shooting my bow constantly, working out. I mean, I'm 7 days a week, a lot more strength training in, but I'm pushing the envelope of what I'm truly capable of, and I have this knowledge and experience behind me. So, man, I feel like I'm in my prime right now.
Heck yeah. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
I definitely am.
I love that. So here at Soul Seekers, we talk about how hunting has the power to transform lives through primal adventure. And what your answer was to that question, 100% is what I talk about. Mm-hmm. Because hunting helped me become a better husband, a better father, a better employee, a better business owner, a better, like, the list goes on. All because I chose to become a hunter. Mm-hmm. And that is how I love to share the gospel of hunting here at Soul Seekers. And what I want to see everybody here at this expo walk away and communicate and articulate how important and impactful hunting has been on our lives, right? When we talk to non-hunters and anti-hunters, we can spit out all the facts that we want, like, well, here's the data and this is the science and all this. But if you want to make an impact, you got to connect with the heart. And it is just like a triune God, you know, it's mind, body, heart, connecting. And we got to share anecdotal stories because that is where we connect with other people.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man. So I got the answer right.
Yeah. Congratulations, you won.
Yeah. Well, and two, I just think, we're built to be explorers and to have adventure in your life and to have things that you really look forward to have things that you work so hard at. Like, that is really living like a fulfilled life. Like, I mean, I get to go to the wildest places and go carry my bow around and take on the ultimate challenge of killing these animals. Like, it's a really difficult task to try to harvest these animals. And then, it's kind of like a hippie thought, but I am so appreciative of the meat, and that really fuels my next adventure. It's the most organic, nutrient-rich protein on the planet. And these animals, they live in these wild places that I love. So you take the high country deer from last year in the deep snow and bitter cold. That deer lives at 10,000 feet and lives off those plants and shrubs and orbs up in that mountain range, and then, I'm able to accomplish my goal to harvest this deer, to pack all that meat up, which took me 2 days, by the way, 1.5 feet of snow packed throughout the one night. And this is a solo adventure. But I get this animal out, I process it myself, it goes in my freezer, and it's the best meat on planet Earth. Well, then I'm eating this meat from this deer that ate those grasses and survived off it. Now eating this deer, like, that place is a part of me as well and fuels my next adventure. So it's a bit of a hippie thought, but I like to think of all these places I go become a part of me for sure.
Dude, I love that you say it's a bit of a hippie thought. I full on embrace the hippie lifestyle.
Yeah.
I believe that we get so limited on how we view the world that we're really missing out on the beauty of what it all is, right? Like, I can understand tree huggers. I totally get it. Like, nature is amazing, grounding. You got to connect, take your shoes off, touch a tree. Like, it heals. There's studies that show that with the exact same illness, one person is in a hospital bed and looks out to a parking lot, and one looks out a window to a park, and the person that looks out to the park heals faster. I mean, we can't deny that. And yet people are so close-minded when it comes to that. It's like, oh, well, it's not in the Bible, so I can't believe that, or that's very woo-woo, or like, come on. There's a lot to this world. God created it, and if he's infinite, then the possibilities are infinite. So really got to embrace that.
Yeah.
Would you hunt if you knew what the outcome was going to be before you started?
I kind of already do.
Oh, savage.
No, I mean, it is nice, like, that the outcome isn't predetermined. That it is challenging, and you don't know what you're going to face, and you're going to have to adapt to the situation you've been given. It's nice to know that there's going to be challenges and hurdles, but I don't know exactly what they're going to be, and I'm going to have to think through them in real time. It's nice to know, like, when you're out there and you're by yourself, like, the decisions you make directly affect your safety, so you have to make really good decisions, and there's consequences to your actions out there, and so I built this wood sense too, of where I have to keep myself safe. I have to live to hunt another day. I can't fall off a cliff. I can't get struck by lightning, which you can't control all of that, but you can put yourself in safe places. And so yeah, I like that it's so difficult, and that it's not guaranteed, and that every hunt is different. Like, I do a lot of visualizations of my shot process and shooting an animal, but it's every situation, every animal I've ever arrowed is different and not how I imagined it, And so I'm able to build these experiences that, I mean, it's magic out there. It's like when you get in you dream of this older age class, mature mule deer, and you dream about it and you work hard at it 365 days to get to this place. And then you're sitting there and you have that deer, like a big buck, feeding in front of you, and all the effort, all the hard work, it just in the hunt itself of hiking up these mountains, doing all this vertical, all this elevation, and then you're like in this place with this giant mule deer watching it happen, or a rutting bull elk. This giant 6-point bull. Not that they have to be a giant to be magical. They're all magical, but a big mature bull in front of you that's rutting cows with this, and you're in that time and place, right? In that, and you created that. Like, man, that's magic to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like the camera to go along with the hunt? And does it ever get in the way? Or versus it's so much fun to be able to relive that hunt and be like, I'm so glad I documented that?
Yeah, that's a really good question. It's I love the hunt no matter how I'm doing it. So with the camera, I'm still in the hunt. I'm still enjoying myself for sure. And when I'm on the hunt and I'm filming a hunt, like I'm trying to capture it, and I really am. My goal is to try to build a good film with my partner, my cameraman, and really I can't hunt with cameramen I don't like. Like, it's being with a friend, and I'm sharing the most special experience with him. If I'm miserable and mad at him the whole time, or it's just it's going to ruin my experience. So I hunt with guys that I like to spend time with, and then we are all in trying to kill an animal and trying to put together a film and build that thing. So I do enjoy it. I do like it. It's a little bit more stress and pressure. I've got Eastman's investing a lot of money in the film, paying the cameraman, and I want to be successful and harvest an animal and put together a film. Our unsuccessful films, they don't air. So some, and maybe that'll change in the future where we can air some of my unsuccessful ones and people can learn from it and I can still share that experience. But as of now, if I'm not successful, it doesn't make a film. So there's a little bit more stress and pressure. So I do enjoy it. I enjoy having a little bit more stress and pressure on my shoulders. I enjoy capturing it. I enjoy being able to show my family and friends, show my audience, share this wild adventure that I had. But I don't want to do it on every hunt. I also want to go out and have these hunts that are just for me, like that late season mule deer hunt. We filmed it the year before. We didn't film it last year. It didn't get approved. And so I was by myself in 1.5 foot of snow chasing mule deer, doing what I love. So I kind of saved some. And I would say right now I'm about half and half. I film half of them, and then half of them are just for me. Or like, I love hunting solo. I also love hunting with my good buddies, and I love helping them be successful too. Like, to have good friends, you have to be a good friend. And so, I've got a couple close buddies that I hunt with that have the same passion as I do, work as hard as I do. So I'm really pulling for their success and trying to help them along the way be successful. So to share a hunt with them and to laugh and just have fun and try to help them get stalks, and also trying to arrow my own critter, that's important to me as well. And so I think I've got a good balance to it. It can be difficult at times. I mean, do-it-yourself public land archery hunt, trying to kill a mature 6-point bull or a mature 4-point buck, that's difficult enough. Now I got to sneak 2 people into range with a camera and capture that whole thing. Like, there's a lot of films out there. There's not a lot of film guys that are putting those together. And not that, I mean, there are some. There's some really good bow hunters out there, but it's extremely difficult. It can get frustrating at times. And at times, like, I've got great cameramen that make great moves, but at times they move a little too much or come up a little too high with the camera, and the situation blows up, and, I can get a little frustrated at first, and then, I always try to take blame, or not take blame, but it's like, I don't try to blame them. I don't want them to feel bad. And it's like, I can just remember a scenario this year. I've got this great cameraman. He'd do anything for me. He keeps himself in absolute ripping shape. And I mean, we burn it. We push it to the limits. And this year on a great mule deer, it was 8 days into the hunt, and we made a stalk on him and had him in bow range. He kind of walked out of bow range, made another move down the ridge, and popped up and was going to shoot him. And he just got his camera a little bit too high, and that buck bounded off, and it screwed it up. And we had been hunting really hard for 8 days. And at first it's like frustrating, and it's like, oh man, you brought your camera up too high. You like, God, you can't move that much. These mule deer are so switched on. Like, you just got to get the shot and come up as high as I am, and he knows that. He's a great bow hunter. He's a great film guy, and it was just like a moment of weakness or a moment of frustration. And it wasn't 2 minutes. I'm like, dude, don't sweat it. I screw up these scenarios all the time. If it wasn't you, it would have been me. And, actually, like, I should have brought us down the ridge a little bit further, or popped us up, or gone a little bit slower, because there's some does there. There's some moves that I could have made to be a little bit better there, man. Don't sweat it. Happens to the best of us. Let's get back after it. We arrowed a buck that night.
Yeah.
Cool. On film.
Victim mindset versus growth mindset.
Yeah.
Right. Victim mindset's always looking for somebody else to blame.
Yeah.
Right. Like, oh, it wasn't my fault. How dare you ruin my hunt? Like, I love that. Brother, it's been an absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
Yeah, likewise, man.
A lot of fun.
Really fun to connect with you.
It is same. What do you got planned for this year?
So, a lot of the same. I travel all over the world, and mule deer and elk, man, they're my favorite to hunt. Antelope, hopefully I draw that tag. I got to see what I draw to kind of plan out my season, but yeah, I've got a couple elk hunts that I'm going to go on. I've got one mule deer tag, and hopefully I'll end up with another one. And then, man, I've got this thing in the works. So I'm a blue-collar bow hunter. I do a lot of these hunts that I like the affordable stuff the average guy can do. Like, I have sheep points, and I put in for every sheep draw. I would love that opportunity once in my life. So, maybe I get lucky on one of those. But I have this opportunity that popped up. So I love hunting spring bears with my bow, spot and stock. And it's like entry-level dangerous game for black bears. Like, and they don't seem entry-level when they roar like a lion when you hit them with an arrow. I've been charged by a couple of them. But, yeah, there's this opportunity coming up. I've worked for Eastman's for a long time. And there's talk about like a brown bear float hunt like this summer into this fall. So working on dates. It's like, I won't count my ducks before they hatch. It seems like it's going to come together, but I just don't. It's like until I'm on the plane to Alaska and in the boat. I mean, yeah, I think it's going to come together. So I think I might have the chance to hunt brown bears with my bow and arrow, which is like a dream to me. It's like such a wild species, such a wild adventure. I love Alaska. I've been there like 3 different times. So yeah, there's like some whispers of maybe doing that. I've got some buddies in Australia. We've been trying to put together an Asiatic water buffalo hunt in the Northwest Territories. So it depends on whether or not he draws his elk tag. If he draws his elk tag, he's taking his vacation coming over here. We'll shoot for 27 to do that. If he doesn't draw his elk tag, I'll probably run over and do that. So I got some big things in the works, man.
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Brother, thanks for coming on. Everyone can tune into your podcast, Eastman's Elevated.
Correct.
Found wherever, part of the Eastman's network.
Yep.
And what else? YouTube channels?
Yeah. So Eastman's Hunting TV on YouTube. You can check out. There's a bunch of my old films on there. You just have to scroll down through the videos, but there's probably 20 hunts on there that you can watch. I do another podcast I started a couple years ago with Dan Picard called Life of a Bow Hunter. That one's building a ton of steam. We have some great conversations on there. So it's Dan and I bi-weekly. We do that one. And read my writing in the Eastman's Hunting Journal, Eastman's Bow Hunting Journal, and social media, Brian_Barney. Follow along on my adventures.
Heck yeah, I love it. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I surely did. This is a lot of fun having this conversation. Remember, if you want hunting to last for generations to come, you got to invest in the hearts and lives of other people. It's up to us to make sure it happens. We are all advocates and ambassadors for hunting, and we get to create this world that we want. Thank you so much, Brian, for coming on the show, brother. For Johnny Mack, Brian Barney at Eastman's, be blessed, freedom on, and as always, stay soulful.
If you enjoyed today's podcast and want to support the show, you can always like, share, subscribe, and leave a rating as it helps us share our mission of mentorship is conservation. Thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of Soul Seekers Nation as we transform lives through primal adventure.